Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. India have beaten Australia by 4 wickets in the semi-final to advance to the finals, and they will play the winner of New Zealand versus South Africa. Let's get into this review. Starting off with the 11s. For India, I'd said they'd go with an unchanged 11 from their win against New Zealand, and we saw that. In my 11, I thought there could be a toss-up for the lead seamer role between Mohammad Shami and Arshdeep Singh. Now, many people would say they shouldn't disrupt momentum. Mohammad Shami is a class bowler. I accept that, and he bowled very well today, which I'm very happy for. However, on a general basis, since his comeback, if you're looking at the match sharpness he's exhibited, and I've mentioned this point a lot, has it been to an optimal level? I don't think so. And despite that, he's performed well. But with the form that Arshdeep Singh has been in, and you'd think he's at the position, yes, he hasn't played too often in the last few matches, but you'd think with how well he has been bowling when he's got a chance, you'd think that he'd be able to exhibit that match sharpness greater than Mohammad Shami could do. Arshdeep can bowl at the start and at the end, which is why I thought they could consider him. But I understand why they went with Shami, because he's a class bowler, and he showed again, despite not being at full match fitness, he showed again why he's regarded in this fashion. And for Australia, the moment I looked at their 11, I thought India were favourites to win the match from before, but the moment I looked at this Australian 11, I knew that they were going to lose this match because of two changes that I didn't understand. Now, in my preview video, I knew Matthew Short was injured, but I didn't know who was going to replace him. And I'm very surprised they went with Cooper Cronley, because if you're looking at how they have backed him or haven't backed him in this case with bat and ball. Now, he hasn't played too much for Australia. He played in the Sri Lanka series, and it didn't go too well with him as far as batting is concerned, batting on those turning services. And with a ball, Bill Webster started off as a spinner, then he switched to a medium pacer, and then in Sri Lanka he bowled spin as per the conditions, and they bowled him more than Cooper Cronley. So if you're not backing a young player with bat or ball, Matthew Short hasn't played much international cricket, but he has played in a few T20 leagues, has been in good form, and he's done well in this tournament. You're replacing him with Cooper Cronley, you're sending him out to open the batting against India in the semi-final. I really didn't understand that. And then, with your spin resources, you cannot look to attack India with spin. Now, if I said that about New Zealand with their containing spinners, what would I say about the spin options Australia's got? And they played Tanveer Sangha ahead of Spencer Johnson, which I couldn't believe, because yes, Spencer Johnson can go for runs, but he can be a wicket-taking seamer up front. If you'd got Ben Dwarshuis and Spencer Johnson bowling and defending that target, couldn't you have at least competed slightly more in the match? So I didn't get that. Now, in terms of on-field tactics, I don't think there was too much that you could point out that Australia did wrong. The reason why they lost this match is because they didn't give themselves a chance because of the team selection. Two incorrect calls. Steve Smith correctly chose to bat when he won the toss, and Cooper Cronley scored 0 of 9 balls. He had a torrid time at the crease. What they could have done was, now I'd said I didn't know who Matt Short's replacement was at the time I'd made my preview video. So I'd say the only other frontline opener on the side is Jake Fraser-McGurk. Now, I accepted. Did I think he would go well in these slow conditions? Probably not. But he hasn't been in great form either. But it'd be better playing him than playing Cooper Cronley. What they could have done, they could have sent out Josh Inglis to open the batting. And I said Aaron Hardy shouldn't open, which I stand by. That would have opened up a slot for him to play in the middle overs, and he can also get the ball to seam around when he bowls. It would have given you a better batting option and a better bowling option, because you know you can't attack India with spin. Instead, you're picking two incorrect calls, and that was what ruled them out of this contest. Now, if you're looking at the moments where you thought things could go well from an Australian point of view and India had to really break the partnerships quickly, was when Travis Head, after a slow start early on, where I agreed with Ashwin's views, what he said in his channel, where I'd said this in my pre video as well. I thought Mohammad Shami would bowl the first over and Varun Chakravarti would bowl the second over. It was inevitable that after the first 2 overs or so, Hardik Pandya was going to go for runs with the way he's been bowling off late, especially against a batsman like Travis Head, and we saw that. And the moment Varun Chakravarti bowls, I thought Travis Head threw it away. I didn't understand the shot. It was a half volley sort of length. It was very full. And Shubman Gill is standing at long off, and the first ball you're facing off Chakravarti, you're playing that shot when if Travis Head had just dug deep, then they got 264 despite losing untimely wickets, and at the end, it resulted in the bowlers had to rotate the strike at the end to get them to 264. They could have easily got 20 runs more had some players played more responsibly. Unfortunately for them, Travis Head was dismissed, and there was some great celebrations from the Indian side because we know what a devastating player he can be. And then the second point in time where I thought India, now that partnership was very threatening, the partnership with the fifth wicket between Steve Smith and Alex Carey. And luckily for India, Steve Smith missed a full toss of Mohammad Shami. Apart from that, if you're looking at what was around them, the partnership between Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne, I wasn't surprised with the output of the spinners in this match because I'd asked this question in the previous video. Apart from Varun Chakravarti's fifer, and it aligns with these stats at this venue as well, because apart from Varun Chakravarti's fifer, which spinner in this tournament bowling at this venue has taken 2 wickets or more in innings? No one. And that's why Varun Chakravarti today also he took 2 wickets, and one of those being Ben Dwarshuis at the end, because the trend was defied with the spinner running through the opposition at the venue, but it is not the norm. And there was a rumor that this surface was going to be a fresher surface than the other ones, and there was not much turn off. It was slow, but there was not much turn on offer. So I wasn't surprised at the output from the spinners. And the only other threatening partnership, as I said, was with the way Steve Smith and Alex Carey were going. Alex Carey taking risk-free options, and I thought a feature of his innings was the way he went over cover. Playing lofted drives for 4. He played in a classical risk-free manner in fantastic form. And at that point, things were looking ominous. I think Australia were under a 98 for 4 towards the end of the 37th over. Steve Smith charged down the track to full toss. And that was what put the match back in India's ascendancy. Then Glenn Maxwell, he hit a 6, and it's been the story of his career, as Matthew Hayden said on air. Misses a straight one and gets bowled. From that point onwards, Australia scrapped to 264, which I thought was at least 16 runs below par. You need 280 to threaten this Indian batting side, especially with Australia's bowling lineup where they've selected incorrectly, and the bowling lineup as it is isn't the strongest. Mohammad Shami, I'm very happy that he went well today, 3 for 40 in 10-2. I still think he's back to his full match sharpness now. But what was especially positive from today was that the spinners, the performance from them was typical of what you'd get in Dubai in this match. And Mohammad Shami was used also in the middle overs to get some economical overs in, and also picked up 3 wickets, and the fast bowlers are expected to take more wickets than the spinners at this venue. So I'm very happy for him there. Apart from that, Hardik Pandya went for runs, but he's only bowling 5 overs per innings when you've got the others, so it's not too much from sort of trouble from an Indian perspective. You know what he can do with the bat. Then you've got fantastic options around him, and as a support bowler, Hardik Pandya is still good. So India, looking at the way this match went, also in the batting innings, because the opposition, they didn't play Spencer Johnson. At the end, it required KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya to hit a few boundaries, but I'd still say India had the match under control, and it was a clinical win from them. And the reason why I'm talking about Australia more is because we knew the 11 India was going to play. We've seen the matches in Dubai thus far. It's been a slow burner, where at times you thought, right, could the opposition, since they've established a partnership, could they really take advantage of that? And we've seen India, at those crucial moments, they've picked up wickets, and towards the end of an innings, the opposition has had no answer. They've tried, they've got to a score which is under par, and this Indian batting side chases it down without as much fuss. So it's a blueprint that India have got, and they've won batting first, they've won batting second, and they're playing very well, and I'm sure they'll win the tournament. From an Australian point of view, Now, Tanvir Sangha went for 41 runs in 6 overs. I think Spencer Johnson can go for runs. He may have gone for that amount, but do you not think he would have been a more threatening new ball option than someone who's in no way a new ball bowler? That's Nathan Ellis. 2 of 49 in 10 years, once again played a defensive role. But you need to pick wickets up front. Now, India were 43 for 2, but because of the lack of pressure after that, they didn't look to be in much pressure at all. There's a lot of strike rotation, picking off timely boundaries. Virat Kohli with another 84. And Shreyas Iyer playing well once again, and India wrapped this chase up. Despite the boundaries at the end, I still thought they were in control throughout. Now, 2 things for Australia. What I would have done is, I don't know why they don't consider Nathan Lyon for ODIs on its surface like this. They could easily play him. And secondly, I would have brought in Bo Webster ahead of Cooper Connolly, because now is he a destructive player like Matthew Short? No. He's a technically sound player who can bat in the top 4 in my view. And if you didn't want to tinker with Josh Inglis's position, even though he can open, Bo Webster could have opened, and he's a technically sound player and can bowl spin if needed, can bowl medium pace if needed. If you're playing the extra spinner and Tanvir Sangha, which they shouldn't have done, you could have at least had Bo Webster bowling medium pace, but they didn't call upon him. They called upon an inexperienced player. And unfortunately, Australia, with their team selection, that's where it went. So India, a very good win from them. And now they will play against one of New Zealand and South Africa in the finals. And now getting on to that match. So that match will be taking place in Lahore. New Zealand lost to India in their previous match. Now, I don't think there'll be any changes in their 11. And as I'd said in the previous match, now, I thought they would bring in Daryl Mitchell in place of Will Young, but they brought him back in place of Conway because they backed the form of Will Young. Now, Will Young scored 22 in the match they lost against India. They should not make a change again and bring Conway back, because it would seem as if you're tinkering with your opening combination in the eve of a knockout match, which is for a team that's played well. I don't think it's necessary. And Kyle Jamieson bowled well in the match against India up front. He did go for runs to the death. Now, there won't be as much assistance in Lahore as there would be in Dubai for the seamers, and I feel in a higher scoring venue, if Kyle Jamieson bowls to that destructive South Africa batting lineup, he may go for a lot of runs to the death. So I'm still not sure about playing him. So this is in terms of the 11 that I think they'll go for, assuming that they don't go for Devon Conway again. It will be Will Young, Rachin Ravindra, Kane Williamson 3, Tom Latham 4, Daryl Mitchell 5, Glenn Phillips 6, Michael Bracewell 7, Mitchell Santner 8, Kyle Jamieson 9, Matt Henry 10, Willow Locker 11. Now, Tom Latham's been batting at 5 mostly. In my 11, I'd put him at number 4, as I said in the previous video. And Nathan Smith is a quick bowler. He can bat a bit as well. I think I'd think about playing him, because Kyle Jamieson was successful in different conditions. If you're bringing into Pakistan someone who doesn't bowl at even 130 kph often, and he doesn't go well to death, and you've got containing spinners who don't pick up wickets in the middle, and in Lahore we saw spinners don't tend to run through the opposition in the middle overs either. So if Matt Henry doesn't, again, I'm saying the same thing, because people think that this attack, it works all the time. It doesn't. If Matt Henry doesn't strike up front, you've only got Will O'Rourke, because Matt Henry bowls 5 up front, he's locked out. If Will O'Rourke doesn't pick up wickets, then who else is going to pick up wickets? Now, maybe they're trying to own that starting phase by playing Kyle Jamieson, and he did well the previous match with the new ball. But they certainly cannot do the job with spinners at that venue or in Dubai, because of the nature of the spinners that they've got. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against an explosive South Africa batting side. Apart from that, I don't think there's any question on team composition. And for South Africa, they've got a few injury concerns, but this is how I think they'll go. They'll go with Ryan Rickelton, Temba Vuma to open the batting, Rassie van der Dussen 3, Aiden Markham 4, Heinrich Clausen 5, David Miller 6, Wian Muda number 7, Marco Janssen 8, Keshav Maharaj 9, Kahisa Rabada 10, and in my view they should play Tabre Shamsi, but they will go with Ungeen Giri at number 11, but I hope they go with Shamsi. Now, in terms of wanting a more frontline ball, looking at this bowling attack, it is not the strongest. Marco Jansen can go on the first 5 overs, or the last 5 overs, he will get hammered, in my view, at the death. Kahisa Rabada can bowl at any phase of the match. Keshav Maharaj is a fantastic bowler. Wian Moda is doing all with the bat. He's bowling decently with the ball, but bowling against an assured New Zealand batting lineup will be a different challenge. Lungi and Giri, I don't think he should play. They should play Tabraiz Shamsi. So there's one call which I don't think that they will make, but and it's a toss-up. I'm not saying they should make it. Wian Muda versus Corbin Bosch. Now, what they could be thinking is, right, Corbin Bosch is also a bowler who goes for runs. And you saw in the Tri-Series, he went for runs. So he also averages, I think, 41 in first-class cricket. But is he someone who can take the attack to the bowlers at the death like Wian Muda can in the last 10? You wouldn't think so, even though he's got that first-class average. So maybe they're thinking, if Corbin Bosch goes for runs, then will he have that explosiveness with the bat to score those runs that he's getting? As Wian Moda, he's bowling better than you think he could do, and that's why maybe if he's got a greater opportunity, a greater chance to score the runs that he gives at the end, then that's what they'll be going with. But they have to play the Shamsi. Now, comparing the 11s, given what you need for Pakistan, what you need for Lahore, in the first 15 overs is a consolidation, sort of a setting the foundation phase, and you have to be technically sound as a batting side. For New Zealand, you've wu Young, Rachin Ravindra, Kane Williamson, and Tom Latham, and for South Africa, you've got Ryan Rickleton, Timber Vuma, Rassi van der Dussen, and Aidan Markham. For New Zealand, Wu Young has been in good form, generally. Rachin Ravindra's got a fantastic 100 against Bangladesh. Kane Williamson, he couldn't get his team over the line in the previous match, but still you would not back a doubt a player of his class, and Tom Latham has been in good form. Compared to South Africa, Ryan Rickleton's been in fantastic form. He's more of an attacking player. Bavuma's done well in ODI cricket. Van der Dussen's been in very good form. Aidan Markham is slowly looking like he's getting back to form. So I wouldn't say that there's too much of an edge between those sides. So that in terms of the top four. Now the middle overs. And the batsmen who can sort of keep on momentum from the 20th over onwards, you've got Daryl Mitchell, Glenn Phillips, Michael Bracewell, Mitchell Santner, compared with Heinrich Klaasen, David Miller, Wian Muda, Marco Jansen. Now, simply because of power hitting, you've got Heinrich Klaasen and David Miller, Wian Muda. You've got Daryl Mitchell and Glenn Phillips for New Zealand, but Michael Bracewell is not a power hitter, and Mitchell Santner is also not a power hitter. Marco Jansen can score some runs at a brisk rate at the end, so I'd give that edge to South Africa. And now the fast bowlers to strike up front, you've got Marco Jansen, Rabada, and I think those are the only two you've got. For New Zealand, you've got Matt Henry, Wu O'Rourke, and maybe Carl Jamieson. Now, even if you compare the two lead seamers, I would certainly put my money on the combination of Matt Henry and Will O'Rourke over Marco Jansen and Kahisa Rabada. So New Zealand take the edge there. And for South Africa, if they, in terms of the spinners, if they play Tabraiz Shamsi, you've got two good spinners there, Maharaj and Shamsi. For New Zealand, you've got more containing spinners. You've not got the bowler to bowl that attacking threat. Now, New Zealand have got more spin options. But if Tabraiz Shamsi plays, yes, his form has been on off as of late. But I still think he's one of those bowlers where you don't consider form as much on his day. He can be inconsistent, but he can certainly pick up wickets on his day, which is why Tabraiz Shamsi, Keshav Maharaj, I feel is a frontline combination. You've got Santner and Maharaj to cancel each other out, but apart from that, would you say that the others can be the attacking threat that Shamsi can be? I wouldn't say so. So just about equal there in terms of offensive gear, South Africa, but because New Zealand have also got a lot of spinners, just about equal there. So it's not too much of a difference between these sides, but in terms of destructiveness, certainly South Africa, and in terms of the seamers who can pick wickets up front, New Zealand. So I'm finding it tough to give an edge as far as this is concerned. So I'm going to say that South Africa will win this match and they will face India in the final, but let's see how this goes. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, share with your friends. Remember, this is my opinion. What's your